Hey, Steve Mignotti here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts, with one of the most timeless British-American hybrid sports cars of all time, the Cobra Roadster. Now this one here is not an actual aluminum car, which would have been a $500,000 car or more, a $1 million car at this point in time. They would have aluminum bodies. Of course, this is fiberglass made by Classic Roadsters out of Fargo, North Dakota, but it's a great example of a replica of the actual car. Now the car doesn't know the difference. We'll check out what that all means in a moment, but the crazy thing about the Shelby Cobra 427, this is the only magazine I could find about it. Now that's Carroll Shelby with a 1966 GT 350, but in the background there it is, the 427 Cobra. And again, there was never any full-page magazine ads for that car. Now, of course, the Mustangs were the backbone of Shelby's business, and of course by 1968, 69, 70, the Mustang GT 350 and 500 sort of been more civilized and, you know, less performance, more about luxury and style. But they share one thing with the fiberglass Cobra is the front fenders and the hood are fiberglass on these GT 350 and 500 cars from 1969 and 70, the carryover cars. So that's the one thing they have in common. Otherwise, these are Mustangs. This is a tube frame car. Now under the hood of this one here, we don't find a 427, or do we? Let's take a peek. Here's the emblem right there, seen on the actual 427 Cobras from 1966, 67, and 68. But under the hood of this one we find, yes, it is a 427. I'll go around to the other side, but it's a small block 427 with aluminum cylinder heads. And the beauty of this is that it has the power of an FE big block 427, same cubic inches, but with that said, it's a lighter engine and basically a better handling car because the weight distribution on this is, you know, better than a big block powered 427 Cobra. I see aluminum heads, aluminum intake, a Holley 4-barrel carburetor, steel tube headers, and just a nice level of execution from the Classic Roadsters company out there in Fargo, North Dakota. And again, crisp and clean. A-arm suspension, rack and pinion up front, and again, really nicely executed. The paint underneath the hood is very much the same quality as what's on the outside of the car, so the quality is here from top to bottom. Of course, side pipes, which were part of the 427 SC experience, we see them in this one here, chrome-plated versus the black powder-coated ones that would have been found on actual Shelbys from Venice, California back in the day. Inside the car we see, of course, bucket seat, but something special under the transmission tunnel is a 5-speed manual. It's a T5, which is a tough transmission. It'll handle that 347 or 427 small blocks power without any issues. But again, the 5th gear is an overdrive, so you can get on the open road with this, drop the engine RPMs and cruise along at maybe, 70 or 80 with, 2,500 RPM. A little easier on the ears despite the side pipes. But again, nicely done inside. Has the correct Smith's style tachometer and speedometer, etc. Of course, wood style steering wheel. Inside, of course, the single hoop bar right here. A lot of cars have dual hoops, which are maybe safer if you put the car on its lid. That's not going to be the point with something like this, but the single hoop is more indicative of the actual Cobras in 1966, 67, and 68. The big block cars, they made a few in 68. And in the back of these cars, don't expect to go shopping or traveling for very long because the trunk is not exactly what we'd call commodious, but there it is right there. Enough room for one suitcase. And underneath the nicely carpeted trunk, we have independent rear suspension, as all 427 Cobras had. Nice details outside. These bits here, the license plate lamp here is correct for a Cobra. And of course, the tail lights and directionals here on the back are correct spec for a Cobra right there. And of course, the rear bumperettes here, also Cobra specific. And again, the details on these kit cars, or replicas if you will, kind of make the difference between a really good one and a really, really good one. This is a great example right here. And again, the thing I really like about this, the choice of wheel and tire. While knockoffs could be had, Halibrands, etc., this says American Racing Torque Thrust, but the tires are Goodyear Eagle tires. And the beauty of these is the tread is very nice. This transition from the tread to the sidewall is very correct for the look. And sometimes a modern radial tire kind of just pops the balloon on a replica Cobra like this. But again, the car does not know the difference between itself being an actual aluminum Cobra. The beauty of the fiberglass cars is that unlike the original Cobras, the aluminum cars were about twice the thickness of a beer can, which ain't saying much. If a piece of gravel gets kicked up, you can get a dent from the inside out and mar the paint and chip the paint and cause problems, whereas fiberglass is very forgiving and very enduring, and a great example of the breed right here. So basically, Classic Roadsters did a nice job in replicating the 427 Cobra, but with a small block, an aluminum-headed small block, which makes about the same power as the FE 427 big block, so no harm done there. A great running car, a lot of fun to drive around. To learn more about this car, go to the High-Octane Classics website and check out the photo gallery.